have Guruji, Dr. Chintamani, who is my first teacher for yoga. How you got into yoga, as well as what made you come into yoga and do this as a full-time job?
As you said, my name is Dr. Chintamani Gautam.
Yeah.
Normally people call Guruji. In this spiritual field, Guruji word is very lovely and respectable word. After my high school, I went to India for my higher education.
Okay.
And I started studying science.
Okay.
And there was an eye camp in my college. At that time, doctors, they asked me to read some lines. And still I remember I could not read last 2 lines at that time. And they recommended me glasses.
Okay.
And actually, I wasn't interested to use glasses. It was exam time. I had no time to go to the specialist and then make glasses.
I understand.
And then at the same time, one yogi from South India came to our hostel. He took permission to teach some yogic activities to the students.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he taught few things still I remember. And then one was anapan, so focus on your breathing, witness your breathing, turn to. I remember now, I was doing wrongly at that time. So I was understanding that I have to do correctly, but I could not do that. I understand now. So I was more interested for my problems. Then I asked him, so can you advise me some tips I can improve my eyes? Mm-hmm. And then he told me, do these things, and don't use glasses right now, so you can improve a lot. And eagerly I did all those things he suggested me.
Okay.
And then after 2 months, I came back to my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
After 2 months, I went back to India.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to hospital for checkup, and they told me you have fit and fine eyes.
Oh.
And then I realized, because we when we have problem, we believe doctors.
Mm-hmm.
They help us.
Mm-hmm.
And while helping us, they have to recommend some tools, gadgets.
Mm-hmm.
So as they recommended me glasses,
Mm-hmm.
and when I practiced yogic activities,
Mm-hmm.
as he suggested me, and then finally without any tools, I improved my eyes. Still my eyes are okay. So this is.
So they were fine right after, and after you practiced something and you felt okay.
So I feel that. So what I realized, so when we have problem, we all want to be healthy.
Yeah.
Health is first thing.
Yeah.
And then I decided, you can be one of the best part for our life and health.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I should continue this. And then I started learning informally, going to different ashrams and gurus. And then I had back pain also.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I got suggestions from other people, and I practiced that. I improved my back pain. So after that, I decided, I should make yoga one lifestyle or part of life.
Part of the life.
Part of the life.
Okay.
Then I started learning and continuing.
When I came to this yoga place, I heard you also did Sanskrit as one of a part of your study. So does that also somewhat helps with yoga?
So actually, in the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't interested for Sanskrit.
Okay.
And then I was influenced by kind of politics, like
Mm-hmm.
communism, something. So
Okay.
it was really big influence at that time in Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to India, and then the effect was making me a little bit away from the spiritualism. When I went there,
Mm-hmm.
my maternal uncle, he was a great person, very high level of scholar, and then he gave me some suggestions, and I had chance to go to different ashrams and listen to their speeches. And then in the long run, so I started thinking, it looks like good. What is this? Let's learn. In free time, I started learning. And then after that, my maternal uncle, he pushed me to continue Sanskrit education also.
Okay.
And I had college examination as a science student, and then he inspired me, in your free time, you prepare this one, you can have some knowledge and degrees also. Then because of his force, I started learning.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got first division degree in high school level in Sanskrit,
Oh, wow, okay.
then I was highly impressed that I will have double degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, let's do. And then when I learned that for higher level of marks,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started learning and then saving those valuable things. And that made me change my opinion and then start
the yoga.
So, yeah.
Okay. As you mentioned that you studied yoga as well as Sanskrit in India, and then you came back and made a part of your life. So how long it has been that you're doing the yoga and teaching?
So since my bachelor and master degrees,
Mm-hmm.
those 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
I practice informally buying the books and then learn from that. Like there was no internet, like
So self-teaching
everywhere.
more of the way.
Self-learning, self-teaching, and then practice. And I focused on mostly on asanas and some breathings, because in the very beginning one thinks that, so if I'm good on asanas, I'm good in yoga. It was same with me. And then when I finished my bachelor degree, and then I came back to my hometown and I started teaching high school kids there.
Okay.
Where I learned education. It was great opportunity for me, and then I continued my master degree, and then I continued teaching also here.
Okay.
And then when after 2 years, I decided to go back to India for formal yoga education. When I finished one master degree in Sanskrit philosophy, then I decided to do another master degree in yoga science. I went back to India, and after that I fully focused on yoga learning. I went to different philosophers, Sanskrit philosophers, who taught me different parts of, and then different sections of yoga. So around 4 or 5 years I practiced informally, then 2 years master degree, and then 4.5 years for PhD honestly. And then so you can say around 7-8 years formal learning educations. After that I started teaching other people, and then what I realized, so when you learn for yourself at that time, you may be limited for something, but when you teach other people at that time, there is no other way other than you learn in broad ways. That's why when I prepared for teaching other people, I learned so many things then that made me yoga is one of the best thing in our life. And after learning yoga, I started teaching different levels of school students, like from grade 4 to master degree students, and from normal student to engineering students, medical science students, so many things. And it's still, I worked with different levels of social organizations and their employees. And then after that I decided I should quit my other jobs and I should focus on yoga things. That's why I started working with tourists, working with other people to teach yoga.
Guruji, what kind of yoga do you teach?
So the question was with me in the very beginning, what should I teach? What people like? And then I started teaching different style of yoga, like modern style, like people say Ashtanga, Vinyasa, Hatha, this, that. And then because I came from the origin, you can say like from the real philosophy. And then when you learn some real philosophy, real like ethics at that time, you can't cross the rule. And then when I follow those modern style of asanas, then what I'm teaching. So then finally I decided, no, I have to teach the origin thing. So I started following from the original books and those gurus. And then I'd love to say I teach Sanatan Yoga, classical yoga, which is from the real gurus, from the Himalayan range, from the tradition. And why I do that, if you learn some specific style of asanas, you might be limited for yoga. But when you learn the classical yoga, the traditional yoga, and you learn anything in a few days or few weeks, any modified or any like modifications, you can learn. That's why I started teaching Sanatan Yoga, the real yoga, the classical yoga.
So it's called Sanatan Yoga.
Sanatan Yoga.
You have been awarded by the president of Nepal, right?
Yeah. So personally, I don't want to say those things. Those are physical things because I love spiritual side. You have asked, that's why it's important to answer that.
Yeah.
And then I'm the first president awarded yoga teacher who has PhD degree in. So you can say I'm the first in the country. So long like history, and then monarchy collapsed. And the first president of the country, he awarded me in his residence.
And you also have participated, or you also are the president in another organization as well, right?
Yeah, so this is Nepal Yoga Academy.
Yes.
I'm director of this, principal and director. And we have this set of Nepal Yoga Retreat Center, especially we focus retreats here.
Retreats,
And then I'm director for this. And then it's a new under construction building, to new venture, Panchashiri Yoga Retreat. I'm also director of that. And then we have one beautiful yoga studio in the city for busy people named Yogmandu. I'm president of that.
As
and
well,
then I'm involved in different social organizations like Lions Club of Spiritual, and then Gandhi International Mission in Nepal. I'm in advisory board. And then so yeah, I involved in different social organizations also.
I found this to be such an insightful discussion.
how Guruji's problem in his life has made him come to spirituality. And now, this as a passion has become his occupation. He helps others flourish within and outside the academy. So this was just one of the inspiring videos I have in work for you. Please subscribe to my channel. Till then, stay healthy, stay happy. Namaste.